So for this next one, it'll be for Bussell versus Bishop. I will be doing the briefing on that case. This case took place in the Supreme Court of Georgia. So just to give you like a little bit of background information, this case is based upon basically it's really a suit of Bishop against Bussell. There were two parties, and there was some land, crops, fertilizer, and of course the profit after. So basically one party had the land, and one party had the other part of cropping and everything. So they had the stock, and they had the tools to perform it, maybe like a cattle or something like that, maybe machinery and things such as that. And so basically I feel like one party just kind of got spiteful, and basically he came to the plaintiff's house and everything, and this man is way older than the defendant. And so they beat him down, like basically they lured him out of his house for no good reason. That kind of really broke my heart in this case. But they lured him out of his house for no reason. He was an older man, and the man basically told him that his family was broke down in a ditch, which wasn't true. It was him and a gang of other people hiding behind bushes and things such as that. And they were, trying to beat him up and trying to encourage him to leave his land so they could take everything and basically take all the profit. But to get in the case, the issue is the parties entered a suit because each party was supposed to take part in a sharecropping journey. The landowner was supposed to furnish the land and fertilizer and perhaps the seed. The other party was supposed to furnish the stock and tools to perform the labor necessary in the cultivation and gathering of the crops when gathered. It was alleged on the 29th of July that Lee Bussell and an organized mob in an organized gang planned to disguise themselves, and they plotted to kill the plaintiff or drive him away from his home and the property. So the application was the court granted a temporary restraining order, and they appointed temporary receivership to the plaintiff and his family. So which means they had to do all the labor after the fact of this case because the defendant is now no longer allowed on the property. And to continue on, basically they compared this case to Nicholson versus Cook, which happened in '76, and I guess the Supreme Court of Georgia again. It says this has been in effect. It has been in effect been held by this court that where the relationship of the landlord and cropper exists, the landlord cannot be joined from taking charge of the crops in absence of an allegation of insolvency, the cropper having an adequate, remedy at law. It will be noted, however, in this case that the landlord did not elect to breach his contract with his cropper and suffer the legal consequences thereof. But he sought to infringe in the cropper and compel him through fright and abandon his contract. So basically he's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to scare the person away from the profit and everything. So after the application, in conclusion, like I said, the older man, he was able to continue to keep his land and get his crops, and he was able to get a restraining order against the defendant. So in the ending, Bishop was able to, win his case against Bussell.